What's up, everybody? It's Caroline here from the DET team with tips to help you test your best. This week I'm talking about rules. I make a lot of videos about rules on this channel, but this one's going to be more of a general approach where I describe why we have the rules, where you can find out what they are, and what happens if you happen to break one. Like most high-stakes tests, the Duolingo English Test has some strict rules, and there are some serious consequences for breaking them. That said, it sometimes happens that a test taker might accidentally break a rule, and this happens for a couple of main reasons. One is that an online test is a somewhat new experience for everyone. If you're taking an in-person test, you'll be in a classroom or a test center with a teacher or a proctor who's responsible for making sure you follow all the rules. When you're taking the DET on your own time and from your own space, you are the one that's responsible for making sure that you're following all the rules and requirements, and that can be a lot of responsibility. Another main reason is that every test taker comes to the test with a different experience. Your own individual experiences, your educational journey, your culture and background, all of those things might influence how you approach a test. You need to read our rules and requirements carefully to make sure that what you think is acceptable testing behavior is actually acceptable on the Duolingo English Test. We have the rules for a reason, and the reason is that we need to make sure that every test taker around the world is being assessed according to the same circumstances. The DET is a test of your true English proficiency, and what that means is that you can use the language in any setting without any need to prepare or memorize and without any support. So our proctors really need to be sure that your responses are coming from you in order to certify a valid score. What happens if you accidentally break a rule? We understand that people make mistakes and that sometimes test takers break rules without meaning to. In this situation, depending on the severity of the rule that you broke, you will most likely be able to take the test again at no additional cost. And if you believe your test session was invalidated in error, you may also be eligible to appeal your result. Making a mistake is one thing, dishonesty is another. The DET is a high-stakes exam, and we have to take test security very seriously. So if you intentionally cheat on the DET, such as consulting another person or an outside resource during the exam, or having someone take the test in your name, you will be banned from our platform and you will not be able to test again. I know those consequences sound serious, but don't stress. If you're taking the test in good faith, you have nothing to worry about. The best way to avoid a situation like this is to really familiarize yourself with the rules and requirements before the test. Here's a couple of places to go to get that information. First of all, our website has a great rules page at englishtest.duolingo.com/rules. I'll also link that in the description box down below. We also have our readiness guide with a section on rules and requirements, and I will also link that for you guys. I have a couple of YouTube videos about our rules and requirements. My favorite one is the 4 most commonly broken rules. I definitely recommend watching that. And last but certainly not least is the setup portion of your actual test experience. So when you take the Duolingo English Test, there's about a 5-minute setup where you're going to go through a few screens that describe the rules and requirements. My best advice to you is not to just skip through those screens, but to actually read them closely and to make sure you are following all those rules and requirements. I know this is a heavy topic, but I really hope this video was helpful for you. Let me know if you have any other questions about the rules in the comments down below. If you're about to take the test, I wish you the best of luck. I believe in you, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, test takers.